We here. We grinding. Gonna make things grow OP as fuck today.
Tenno, if you can hear this, then you will have decided to act as my field associate. I need Entrati artifacts to keep Parvos Granum from taking control of everything I have built. I'm counting on you, Tenno.
All you need to get into an arterial conduit is the correct docket. Ready for a hunt?
Hey. What up, my dude? Why are you awake?
Hey, Grosling! It will certainly have a docket, but it might also have the final chapter to that book I was reading. A docket! Excellent! Look for a conduit with a matching glyph. The Mama have captured the dockets you need. Be aware. The Greslings have a particular appetite for dockets. That's it. Protect the conduit and watch out for enemy necromechs. They'll blow the whole apparatus up just to keep you out.
I'm trying to do stuff. Leave me alone. There we go. There he is. What we need is that mod. Is it gonna drop? Probably not. Such as wolf.
Isendy is open. The system thinks you're hostile and will do everything in its power to destroy the conduit to force you.
I don't know where those things are. What the? I'm in confusion. Are we stuck? Is it supposed to open? Or is it above us? Oh, below. Gotcha. Oh. There's a vein in my eyes. Where you at?
Seems I still have limited control of the conduit
There you are.
systems. I've converted this conduit's burden.
Ah,
to a
bitch.
lesson.
favor. To earn my friend's favor, you first have to learn compassion and empathy.
Here we go again. Conduit online. Let us hope this one has what Drusus needs.
You're taking a lot of damage.
Try again.
Okay. Oh, we already did that.
Quite the haul you've got there.
And so
Let's see.
the important
I'd like to take some of it off your hands.
purpose.
Please, remember, 'tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved. I'm quite content down here, I assure you. A chap has to have his space. Very good, Tenno. I wait upon your pleasure.
Come, come. Papa saw promise in you. I gather the others. Gather the others. I have something to say to all. Tinu! The grimoire must speak with its own voice. I do not consider this an effective use of resources. What do I know? Have at it. Don't listen to the fish. Papa must believe this aids in conditioning, I suppose. Yes, that's it. Gather round now. I have much to impart.
I wanted them organized. They're organizing. For he to preserve us.
Now, let us review. In our time thus far, you have both done, better than expected.
Mr. Confident, isn't he? Very polished. I didn't see him helping.
Yeah. But then, there's more for us to do.
Right.
However, some of us are still allowing the past to exert Let us see if we cannot find something suited to your, Tinu! The grimoire. You have proven yourself worthy of trust. Sticker.
One must make the best. She remains as she was, Tenno. Ah, a fresh opportunity to continue my Albrecht's work. This ought to keep the group cohesive for a little longer.
for action. If lost upon the plains outside Cetus, you may derive sustenance from mineral-dense termite droppings, which the Ostrons call Ito Da. You may also never form a consonant again, but at least you will not be dead.
see the feeds light up. It's going down, kids.
Otis reminds the operator to take time for themselves. Pressure creates diamonds, yes, but it also creates rubble.
You are holy. Lua, bless your path. In these deepest reaches, I fear Lua's light will not pierce the veil.
Be strong, brother of my soul. We will endure this torment.
Ah, yes. I remember training for live combat. I do not miss it. Our society was rotten through with ritual. I dimly recall some ceremony or other like this one, offering tribute.
with all its greed. It must be vanquished, for decency's sake.
The cost of war. Bloodshed.
God. Great. What a fucking useless.
By soul, you poor thing.
Jesus Christ. I don't think it's that helpful. Be better off with like a different arcane.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and
Cut down the...
make the Lotus proud.
What do we even have on this?
Operator, Ordis is picking up a distress signal. Wait, no. It's just the Corpus peddling their wares again.
Get off the emergency frequency!
about to kill some shit.
Speed would be important when on the battlefield, I suppose.
Our society was rotten through with ritual. I dimly recall some ceremony or other like this one. Offerings, tribute.
What is the gluttonous beast holding? The spoils of war? And what is that odor? Ruth, is this your true form?
the drum, catch the drum. Did the devil play children's games once, long ago?
Each time we do this, you bleed a little more out of me. Oh, what a sick game this is. I like it.
Of brimstone for you!
Let the devil strike this holy image. Soul's fire is stronger than his.
Do you smell burn?
I invoke devastation!
It is Friday, January 2nd. Let's talk PlayStation. Welcome back, everyone, to another 2026 episode of LTPS. As always, let's begin with our PS Plus reminder. This is your final warning for the December 2025 PS Plus Essential lineup. Claim those games before they go away. This coming Tuesday on the 6th, it's going to change over to Need for Speed Unbound on PlayStation 5, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed PS4, PS5, and Core Keeper on PS4 and PS5 as well. Which I would say, not too bad of a month. Core Keeper I know is a game you can spend like 50 to 100 something hours on that game because it's a survival sandbox style game, so based on the gameplay loop you're either going to really fall in love with it, or for some I know that's an immediate write-off just looking at it, but it does appear to be very addictive if you fall in love with it. I'm very happy with Need for Speed Unbound. I almost bought that game recently. That's that was the good call there. We have that copy. It's not a bad game, but you sort of know what you're getting. Otherwise, they're not too bad of a lineup, I would say. Very curious how Sony's around us is just so obscenely expensive, and during certain new quarters it seemed like Sony was very slow, and then the latter half of the year might get a lot better. As we saw with 125, we had some amazing months on Plus, but it was really more than that. Moving on to our first news story, there was a very big breakthrough in the PS5 jailbreaking hacking community. This happened on December 31st, very recently. They're over on the PS Devil feed and then also shared around in private discords. There was a big data dump where it was allegedly the PlayStation 5's boot ROM keys. In layman's terms, the PS5 boot ROM keys are level 0 security access on the console. These are encryption keys that are in read-only memory, and they're etched into the console's APU. So this is very similar to when PS3 keys were leaked online all those years ago, if you remember that fiasco. This is not something that Sony can easily patch out without, to be overly technical, without, in theory, doing some kind of path here that, in essence, does break and completely upend the way the console, by design, mounts disc-based games or launches digital games completely offline. So that's what we mean by level 0 security access, in that it is physically on the motherboard etched into the APU for these encryption keys, and that's what's used to keep the console offline, to mount disc-based games, or to have offline play possible for games that are locally stored and downloaded on the console. So with those keys out there, it completely upends that entire design of how PlayStation 5 does function and launch those games for Sony security clearance and Sony approved code. So with all that in mind, the much more likely scenario, which Sony has done before, in order to address this, is that Sony would have to manufacture a new motherboard revision with a different APU that carries new ROM keys and additional security layers. So with all that in mind, this in theory means the console has a more reliable path of running unsigned code, pirated games, and loading a different OS. And it could also greatly help in reverse engineering games for emulation purposes on PC. Now, I'm also going to add here that with a big caveat, since I myself am not deeply involved in the homegrown hacking scene, but it's my understanding that there are still other things needed to fully crack the console, like the man groups on the board that are considered critical. So, as I understand it right now, it's not fully cracked and opened, and that means much earlier jailbreaks can happen with certain firmware updates, and so it's not quite to that degree yet, although I would still think, assuming this is legitimate, it's going to be deeply concerning for Sony, a console that is still highly relevant right now, and based on our recent rumor from this past Tuesday that we went over about how manufacturers, at least more pertinently Sony and Microsoft, are considering not doing next-gen until maybe later than they were planning. That is a fundamental issue with the amount of consoles that they have out there right now and are continuing to sell for the foreseeable future, knowing that a very critical security layer for the console has potentially been breached. So it's something that they're probably very concerned with this, and it would, to address it really is the motherboard edition, which at this point in the game, it really, even that is a band-aid fix because you've still got 90-something million consoles in circulation that, in theory, these keys are not out there. So we'll keep following this, obviously. We only cover homebrew and jailbreaking stuff when it's a big breakthrough like this in particular. So I wouldn't expect major updates unless we find out exactly what's going on here. But otherwise, that's at least the situation as I understand it right now. Moving on to some video game news, where Hideo Kojima, over on the personal X account, has given us an update on the projects as we go into the new year, or as we are currently in the new year, and what we can expect from Kojima Productions. So he did say that right now they're going to continue development on OD. That's still going strong, and we're going to move forward on preparing Isn't, and that's going to include casting actors, scanning, and doing performance capture shoots. And they'll also be pushing forward with the live-action Death Stranding movies and also the animation project, or the one Death Stranding movie and the other animation project. So, well, that's the thing. Kojima's got a lot of stuff going on, so OD is going to really be starting to ramp up as well, because it sounds like OD is getting closer and closer to shipping. Not saying that's like right around the corner, but obviously there's certain connections what happens with the studio that have more and more people ship over to, because which is a game like is still very far away, but with Kojima at least you get these updates on a game that is very far away, and it is, but they are at least doing very open about the process before they are it's still cool to hear, and 2026 right now is still relatively quiet as far as like relevant game news goes, but it was cool to see one from Kojima as we kick off the new year. Next up, we've got some Trouble in Paradise going on for one game in particular, part of the China Hero Project program, which we've been following the programs for a little bit now for all the hero projects that Sony has been doing. And one game at Con Valeria has not been turning out so good, apparently, or at least that studio's relationship with SIE. So this game you might not even remember. It was announced a while ago. I think it was in the second or third wave of the China Hero program, but it's a co-op third-person shooter. So Con Valeria actually disappeared from Sony's Brett Page program very recently, within the last 1 or 2 months, and this is in light of the studio Long Force making accusations about repeated delays and lack of publishing direction, getting removed from the marketing materials. There's been payment disputes and some structural changes to the program that caused more issues. So one example was SIE was allegedly only using Virtuos for outsourcing the resources, so there was no approval or developer bidding process that Long Force themselves had any say in. And there's actually a lot here. It runs much more deep than we can cover at a sort of cursory glance on LTPS, but I was very surprised to see just how much there really was. I guess one of the big fundamental issues was the new leadership that came in to lead that program around 2022, and so it seems like a whole mess. And there's other sources that are claiming that that's been the experience for others in the program as well, so it's tough to say exactly which direction this is really swinging, because it could very easily be a he said, she said kind of thing, even though SIE is going to be very quiet on an issue quite like this. Almost always they try to sweep these things under the rug, because they're a big company, they don't want that bad PR, so perhaps with this maybe gaining some more attention, they will do right by the studio, or perhaps break them out of the program because for whatever reason, maybe they notice other things that they themselves are not doing open about. It's hard to say, right? You never want to victim blame, obviously, and it sounds like they've been in a tough spot with payment disputes in particular. That's the very turbulent thing about game development is you need the money to keep coming in, and if you don't have that, well, that's a very tough position to be in, working for free. So it's tough to really say. I'll keep my eyes on the story and see where this one goes. But if anything, it would be a great shame to see that what is a program that's supposed to foster talent and give these developers crucial funding to get their games out the door, it would be a shame to see that this is the experience they're having. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this week was definitely a little bit slower, so that always happens during the New Year's period. And that's probably why we saw a lot of headlines out of this one podcast in particular, where it was the former chairman of Roulette Studios, Sean Layden, the long-standing PlayStation executive that left abruptly in 2019 and has since then been doing some consulting for Tencent and traveling around the world and talking to developers and doing various talks and podcast appearances, so every so often we always get a headline from Sean Layden. We had a lot this week from this one podcast where he was speaking with Naomi Kyle on the Pause for Thought podcast. And so one of the first headlines that came out was how Sean was talking about how games are pitched nowadays. The ones he's been hearing a lot lately, where he said, quote, sometimes a pitch will start and they'll be, this is the monetization, and this is how we're going to capture the total addressable market. I had to stop some people and say, hey, hold on, no, wait, what's the fun part? So Sean spent more time explaining that part and that so many pitches are front-loaded with the business model, and he has to bring them back down to ask them, well, this is a video game, what is enjoyable about this video game? And what's so fascinating is that that is not the first time I've heard that from not just Sean, but like many of BBC talks and things like that over the years, but it always comes down to that. If somebody has been in a position where they take on pitches, they almost always like to hear about the video game, like the part that's fun, what's unique about the gameplay loop. And I guess that's the other weird angle of that oftentimes with the getting pitches, where it's like way too heavy on this is how we make money, this is how we're going to address the market, this is how we're going to do monetization and battle passes, in recent years of course. But even 10, 20 years ago, I guess another issue is people are spending too much time on other aspects of the game like lore. And it's like, well, bring you back down. What is the gameplay loop? What do we actually make you here? What's fun? Sean even spoke a little bit about how with his time at SIE and at the time Sony Computer Entertainment, they had 3 key pillars for, greenlighting games, which would have been games they basically have to make. That would be for new platform launches, whether it's a failing platform like a Vita or a PSVR, and the games you have to make for those systems in the early days, but also just straight up console launches. You have to build games for your own platforms. But games they have to make, and then the 2 main ones would be innovative. So is it something where they feel like it's experimental and entirely new and a novel concept, or is it something where it's best in class? The best way he explained this was that we're not going to approve the 3rd best racing game out there, we're going to approve the Gran Turismo. So it's a very good methodology to go by, and that's how PlayStation historically has put out such high caliber games over the years. But it was really interesting hearing him air it out like that. Now, the other headline that we got from Sean Layden was about consoles and console exclusivity. Is it dead? Is it going away? So we have another quote here where Sean says, I don't think every game has to be console exclusive. I don't think every game should be console exclusive, but I do accept the fact that if you're going to have platform companies like Sony and Nintendo largely, Microsoft is more of the Xbox anywhere, everywhere, there is a huge value to the brand of having strong exclusives. If Mario starts showing up on PlayStation, that's the apocalypse, right? Cats and dogs living together. And the same thing goes for Nathan Drake and Uncharted. I think they make the platforms sick. And Sean also acknowledged that multiplayer games do demand a larger audience in order to succeed. But, he still believes in the traditional model of console exclusivity. But the thing is, that kind of goes in the face of another comment that came up, which was about how do we grow the console market. And this is something we've spent some time talking about over the years in LTPS. And this largely does come from Sean, in that the console marketplace has a ceiling on how many consoles are ever really sold in any given generation. It's almost always not exceeding 250 million. He brings up the Wii as one example where they sort of broke past that a bit because a lot of people are buying Wii's and Wii Fits, so you sort of broke into that more casual market, the kind of gamer that when you talk about the billion plus number, that's somebody that's playing Candy Crush on a smartphone, right? So they broke out of that a little bit during that platform cycle. But anyway, talking more about how do they break through that barrier, Sean explained that it's similar to the VHS versus Betamax scenario. VHS won because it licensed the format across different manufacturers. So, quote, people didn't understand that need of having the same machine as your neighbor. You can have an RCA TV and you can have a Sony TV, and that's all fine, but once your neighbor has picked VHS and you want to watch that type of that movie, but you have Betamax, all of a sudden, so industry coalesced around VHS. Then later on, Sony and Philips created the Compact Disc Consortium. They created the patent, and then they licensed it out to all the other manufacturers. Same thing happened with DVD, same thing happened with Blu-ray. They said that they'll compete on the device, even though they'll both support the platform, but they'll have different bells and whistles. So, just to clarify, he's being asked these questions when one answer is, well, here's what we need to do, consolidate everything, but then he also said platform exclusives still matter. He's just being asked, these questions in isolation. So even though it looks like he's going back on his word, he's just simply asking or answering those things directly. Having said that, the thing that I find fascinating about the second answer to that, or rather the one about the consolidation of the games platform business, if we want to break past the 250 barrier, is that we're seeing that because we, for the longest time in this business, only had 3 major players. One of them has effectively dropped out. And, effectively as in, like, on a technical basis, sure, they're around. They still make and ship Series S, X, and we're expecting another Xbox. But we had that apocalypse moment, as Sean implied, with Halo shipping on PlayStation. They have had their second moment. So we are consolidating. Now, the weird thing is that, like, that consolidation I don't think is necessarily going to equate to breaking past that 250 million barrier, because the reality is he's also implying that other manufacturers need to be making PlayStation 5s or Nintendo Switch 2s, for example, right? But, there's a layer to what he's saying as far as how it's already happened. But it's, it's always the same discussion before. The consoles are, like, still by design very traditional. It is a crazy thing to think that consoles can still operate the way that they're operating when nowadays people would think it's insane to buy a Blu-ray player and you only can play movies on that one Blu-ray player. But, like, exclusivity is all around us. It just comes in different shapes and sizes. So even though we're in a very digital streaming era, there's platform exclusives by way of that. Oh, you can only rent this movie on this one platform. You have to subscribe to this platform to get access to this series of a 20-year-old TV show that you like. Oh, well, now that deal's up, it moves over to another one. The barriers are, like, there's far less friction in that circumstance. You don't need hardware necessarily, but exclusivity still reigns supreme in all sectors. So it's with consoles, at least, they're just a few steps behind, but the consolidating has happened, and now we've just primarily got, I would argue, PlayStation and Nintendo, and naturally PC. Although the weird thing about PC is, with how absurdly expensive it's getting, that can be cost prohibitive too for certain folks that want to buy and play and maintain a very reliable machine in that department. Moving on to some third-party news stories, the EA shareholders have overwhelmingly voted in favor of approving the $55 billion leveraged buyout, so it is happening. Now, the reason why there's an overwhelming majority of shareholders happily approving that is because this is not really an ethics thing. It's a matter of them getting a 25% premium on their investment, so they're being bought out at $210 a share. So whether somebody ethically cares for the deal or not, if they're for or against it, the whole idea is they got their bag. That was the point of the buyout. They're getting bought out. So it's like one of those things where you don't care what happens after because you're getting paid anyway. So 99%, they're all in favor. That should be going through on that end. There's still other verticals at play, but at least for EA and that crazy deal of going private with the PIF, that is still on track. Next up, the Silent Hill series producer has made some bold claims for the franchise where, based on the recent success and launch of the 2024 Silent Hill 2 remake and 2025's new spin-off-ish entry, Silent Hill F, they want to try and have more entries on a annualized basis if they can help that. So, recently speaking with Famitsu, we have the translation here by Genki_JPN on Twitter. The series producer, Matoyo Okamoto, said the series is back on the map with Silent Hill 2 and F, and so including announced and unannounced games, they aim to release a new entry at a pace of about one per year. Which, that makes me a little bit uneasy. I'm not sure that's exactly what we need to be doing when we just had two very strong releases in the franchise. Two tight-knit experiences that were really compelling, enjoyable, and they actually handled the source material well for two, and it was two different studios that handled these games. It's, I don't want to say miraculous, but it's like, wow, they really did pull it off. Silent Hill is back. I don't think it's really encouraging to then hear, like, great, now we're going to be doing them every year. And that's not to say they have a roadmap of 5-something games for 5 years, obviously, but they've reasonably got 2 or 3 in the back burner that they would maybe like to see a release cadence of 26, 7, and 8. And that's just me speculating, but I don't know if that's really the path we should be going down. And I would think that the producer is at least letting it out there already of like, we'd like to do that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen because we won't compromise on integrity if the 2026 game needs more time in the oven. So don't compromise on quality. Make sure you're still putting out a great Silent Hill game. Next up, this is the year that Atlus is celebrating 30 years of Persona games. And so in celebration of that, they've prepared a 30th anniversary website where it does show that there's going to be an update planned for January 8th. And presumably the site will be updated over time. And Atlus is certainly the kind of publisher, and many other Japanese publishers do this. All of them like to do this, which is, that doesn't mean you're going to get big game announcements. So I would at least caution that on January 8th, and probably any other dates that do pop up over time, very likely you're going to see some merch announcements or things you can buy, maybe some new key art, things like that, which is cool. That's obviously a great way to celebrate anniversaries, but more pertinently, we do want to know about game projects as well. So at least alongside that, we do have the creative producer and chief director Kazuhisa Wada speaking with Famitsu, where they revealed that they are preparing a number of announcements and they will be talking about the Persona 4 revival as well. So that is likely some news that we'll get at some point in this year, but I know for many others, myself included, we are also patiently awaiting for some Persona 6 news. Because Persona 5 at this point, I love those characters in that universe. You know, I'm repping Kawakami hard all day, every day. But, you know, at a certain point, we want to not really be living the Skyrim life, and we want to see the next entry. So I would sincerely hope that this will be the year where we make it someday. Moving on to more Gen AI stuff going on in the video games, because I'm sure you all love hearing this stuff. It does keep coming up a lot, and so we do have the Level 5 director openly expressing their support for the technology. And so Akihiro Hino has openly expressed their support for Gen AI on their personal Twitter account, where they were saying that game companies are incorporating it for efficiency and time savings. And so for one unreleased game at Level 5, they're not using AI to code 80 to 90% of the game. That was a misunderstanding that people might have heard before, and they have not reached that just yet, but they do say it's a time savings that can't be dismissed, and they propose a world where instead of 5 to 10 years of AAA games, they come out every 2 years, and that while AI can produce plagiarized content when it's misused, it does still have the power to enrich the creative world. So very much they are in support of the medium. And that's the thing about AI too, is that you are going to have people just be fully in support of it, and they think that there's so much upside that it can't be ignored. You've got some publishers that are trying to walk that fine line of like, well, hold on a second, we played around with it, it didn't work, like your Sample Interactive. You've got some that still want to explore it, and they have to, you know, explain that away, like Larian recently we're going through. And the crazy thing about the whole Larian scenario, which, like, I think it was good that we had this come out from the transcript where Jason Schreier released that transcript, and you got full context on what they were saying. And so the CEO openly explained that we are looking for the efficiency, we're not really finding it just yet. And that might also be just chalked up to AI still being, at its core, a very infant thing, because there's this bubble that people think are going to burst because, you know, AI is still, like, vastly developing and everyone's investing like crazy into the space, and that's why we're also running into these crazy knock-on global economic effects of crazy GPU prices and the RAM crisis, and so everything's sort of still ballooning and growing, and it's AI itself is still getting better. There's that big difference between Will Smith eating spaghetti, 2 years ago, and now he's doing it today, and it looks very synthetic, sure, but at least he doesn't look like a monstrosity. So, you know, in theory, you have Larian saying, like, yeah, we tried it, and we didn't really save any time from it, but who knows what 2, 3, 4 years does look like. And it's still the stance I have, is that can it be used effectively in game development? Almost certainly. Well, I mean, you're going to have some studios not even bother disclosing it, because at this point, it's just, they don't even have to. They're not going to get penalized for it. There's no regulation. It's a Wild West. So you're going to have some not even disclose it, and it's going to get to a point where it's completely indistinguishable, and you don't even know that the games you're playing were made and built with AI. But it really depends on what angle of the game was even using Gen AI to begin with, right? So it's really tough to say, especially if you have, you know, an ethical stance on the use or misuse of it. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it makes it even harder for you to ethically, sort of come to terms with it. And that's sort of where I am. Like, I know it's going to get used, and there is upside to it. It can be an extension of human work. It can probably accomplish a lot of things that human work can't ever reasonably do. But is it going to replace human work? Almost certainly, and I hate that aspect of it. Is it going to start creating things that humans otherwise could have crafted with heart and soul, and the thing that drives us all to get up in the morning? Yeah, like, I don't like that either, but I don't know, it's for some, they're like 100% in, others they're 100% no, and nobody's really going to win here, and if you're in the middle, it's even tougher. So, with that in mind, I think it's always important to remember the other side of people that really believe in the technology, and they want to be able to ship games that much faster. I will add, too, the thing is, I'm not even sure I want games to ship that fast. Like, it's that weird thing I always talk about, right? Where it's like, man, it really sucks that Naughty Dog is spending 7-something years making a new IP. And it's like, on a studio-by-studio basis, that's what sucks. But also, like, I might be waiting 7 years for Naughty Dog to ship a new IP, but my God, my backlog has never been bigger. It's literally never been bigger. So games still come out all the time. There's still compelling experiences everywhere, no matter where you look. So I don't know if I really want to see games ship that frequently. I don't want 7 years, but I don't know if I'm ready for it to go back to 2 years either, with just the sheer volume of games that come out nowadays. I don't know, that's kind of where I sit on the whole thing. It's maybe more complicated than it seems, but there's just a lot of ways it can be discussed. Moving on to some PlayStation Productions updates, we have one for The Last of Us Season 3, where Danny Ramirez, who played Manny in The Last of Us Season 2, he's on Abby's crew, so he didn't show up in every episode, and I don't really think he has that much screen time. He doesn't show up too often, but by the time Season 3 comes around, you should see a lot more of him. Well, he's not going to reprise his role for Season 3, so based on a report from Deadline, due to scheduling conflicts, he's going to be recast, and I hate seeing that. If there's one thing that I really dislike, sometimes it has to happen, but usually, like, in a game, for example, if the voice is recast, it's such a turn-off to me, because while the new person might do a really great job and put a lot of energy and heart into it, at the end of the day, like, I can always tell that was not the same person, so it just sounds like an entirely new character, and it really breaks immersion for me and continuity. And so doing that with real-life actors, like, that is going to break it so much for me. And so that already, like, is kicking Season 3 off in just the worst way possible. Because, for some people, you can't wait to watch Season 3 and see that Abby crew go through their 3 days. And Manny plays a big part in that. I mean, he's right there near the end of Season 2 as well. So that, I'm not thrilled with. But, we're going to be getting probably a lot more stories about Season 3 as it kicks off a lot of its production. Now, with all that said, it is time for Let's Talk Plus, the weekly Let's Talk PlayStation giveaway, where one of you can win a $10 PSN code. I would like to congratulate this viewer right here. I'll be contacting you very soon via email or X. And if you'd like to win a $10 PSN code, it is so simple. You can follow the link down below or scan the QR code and enter the green giveaway. Supporting this channel a number of ways can get you an entry, and I'll announce the winner next week, because I'm trying to help pay for your games. Those are some of the stories from this past week that I wanted to talk about with you all, and our Tuesday video was a breaking story from Insider Gaming about the RAM shortage and how that's causing manufacturers like Sony and Microsoft to consider maybe delaying their new machines past their 2027-2028 release window. So we talked about that big rumor on Tuesday in a separate upload. And then coming up, it is a new year, folks. And you know what that means, our annual PlayStation predictions. So I'm not sure if that will be the next Tuesday upload. If it's not, it will be the one after. It depends on editing and scheduling and all that from my side. But otherwise, we are very close to, yes, doing our annual predictions that we've been doing since 2015 now at this point. So absolutely insane. No, 2014. I don't remember. We've been doing this a long time, but for some folks, they look forward to that all the time, so we'll be doing that very soon. And I think we're going to do Click R3 the week after that as well, which me and John are now doing our own predictions separately as well, so we're doing that too. But anyway, I think that's about it. I've been playing games. You'll be proud of me, playing games outside of 30 Platinums. That has been super fun. Let me tell you, Luminous Arise. Oh my god, the PSVR 2 version, so good. Got damn near emotional playing that game. To love that series on PSP 2005, 20 years ago, and then experiencing it in VR was just magical. And I feel like I had to share that with you. Yes. It's been so fun just enjoying that game, and I'll be starting up more things soon, thankfully. But anyway, that concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Benecki. Thank you all so much for talking with me, and I will see you all next Friday.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the yearly Smash Brothers tournament here on Node. It is 2025. We've all gotten a little bit older, a little bit wiser, but you know what? You have the privilege of being here with the two champions. That's right. Most people here have won one tournament, but only right here at the table are people who have won 2 tournaments, which is what you need to be a real champion these days.
Because anything else is a scram.
Austin is currently this year's favored boy to win. Now the question is, will all that pressure cause him to crumble?
Jordan Allen is a new father. He hasn't been sleeping. Peter just released a new game, Light Up the Town. He has not been sleeping, so we'll see if they even know where they are.
Everyone listen up. All right? I'm bored, right? We all know how this is going to go. I'll pick my main, and I'll win. It's boring. We need to insert chance. We need to insert random. If I win, this is the last Smash tourney. No! We cannot let this happen. Just say that. Just us. Because I will be the greatest of all time. Round 1.
This year, I'm going to play as the Glass Cannon himself, Sephiroth.
So I actually haven't played Smash at all this year, so I'm just kind of going into this. Here we go. But you know what? Ren's a little weasel, so I can take him anyway.
He literally told me if he loses, he's just going to go back to work. What kind of a Smash player says that?
This year's tournament bracket has been chosen at random, and the first match here is Ren versus Christian. All right, guys, let's kick off the 2025 Smash tournament.
Nico, this is a big game because Ren is a former, lower champ, right? Christian always has a deadly King K rule, and he could surprise us here.
Right, because we don't know his rhythm because he doesn't play this anymore. You see, the thing is, Christian turned to productivity as his passion, so he doesn't play video games at the office anymore.
Runs up and goes for a counter right away.
Yeah. Ren has been playing a lot of Sephiroth. Sephiroth's kind of a slower, almost like joke character, if you will.
But it's very methodical. He has kind of like these patterns that he goes through, and we'll see if Christian can figure out those patterns.
That's right. Christian's keeping the barrage going, but Ren's been watching for those openings.
All right.
Ooh,
they're
not
very
quite.
slow and methodical. A little nervous, I would say. A little nervous playing here.
Yeah. Feeling each other out, getting their distance figured out. Just
it's almost like they don't want to touch each other. Oh, there's a big touch.
Yeah. Christian goes for the edge recovery.
Okay.
Runs for himself off.
Okay, Christian is a good position right here with that ledge guard. And Ren gets past.
Nice spot dodge.
Good spot dodge on Christian.
Ren follows it back. Christian
but he
tries spot dodge again.
Oh, Ren went for the taunt.
Lends some pressure with the projectiles. Misses the grab.
I mean, there's the first kill of the Smash tourney.
Ren's sitting at 60%, which is not a bad number. K-Rool's got some big hits. Ren put a little bit more damage on him.
Starting to lock in. He's starting to figure out his edge guard here. Christian's got to watch out for that down smash.
All right. Can you keep him off the edge? Can you pull off a successful ledge guard here?
Oh, nice shield. And Ren.
Oh, it's a bowling ball just in time. There's some tentativeness in this playing here. There's some nervousness I'm sensing.
See it.
Yeah, they're being careful. Nobody's like walking into this with like,
ooh!
He used that teammate to great effect.
The belly armor does it.
The thing is, you can get them into the red very quickly.
Ooh. She almost died right there.
Uh-oh, that curse is going to be a problem.
Oh!
Nice spot dodge. Wow, it's like magic. Crazy spot dodge. Wow! Can he follow it up some more damage? Oh, he tries to read him, but doesn't quite read the words correctly.
K. Rool is hard to kill.
Uses that belly armor.
Keeps going for that down smash on the edge.
Yeah, a little early on the timing each time.
Wow.
Good roll with the throw. Christian's always ready with the grapple at the right time. He's going to have to deal with that curse. It's a bit of an annoyance. Oh, there it is.
Oh, what a great up air by Ren.
Christian hasn't been using his counter for that entire second stock, and I wonder if he's going to bust it out again to change it up on Ren. Nice spot
Still only
dodges.
at 11%.
Staying fast on his toes.
Wow.
Good belly
the
move.
belly armor?
Doesn't even worry about the curse.
Oh, with the cannon! This is...
Okay, man, so now is when the fear starts to set in. When either player becomes close enough to die. This is when the game gets interesting.
Oh my god!
That spot dodge.
He's been getting those spot dodge off.
He's going to deal with those curses. Oh, Ren tries to get him with the down smash to break his shield, but doesn't pull it off in time. He tries to dodge the curses.
It's
but
close.
Oh!
He's in kill range.
Watch out for that Daikatana. Oh no, is that it? Oh, that could have been it right there.
It's anybody's game right now.
Oh, counter, but not a big counter.
No! He waited on the counter! He waited on the counter! He saved it! He saved it!
Yes!
It was so simple! It was so simple!
That is why we do the tournament every year.
That was fucking sick! Holy shit! It was so simple! Oh my god!
It's been about 2 years. Do I know what I'm doing? No? Doesn't matter.
Again, I haven't played Smash since literally last year, but this morning I did play for an hour straight. And you know what? Feeling pretty good.
Now I'm going against D. If I remember correctly, I beat him last time.
Next up, we've got D and JC.
This is this has a lot of history here because JC beat D.
Yeah.
The greatest video game player of all time.
Good luck.
Pick your favorite, place your bets.
2 sword-based characters.
Look at them using the wrong moves at the wrong time.
They're relearning the buttons in real time.
He's figuring out what each one does.
Oh, wow.
He gets a little close while JC's using her buttons.
Stop it.
Uh-oh. JC is mad that he's attacking her. Because that's the thing with Oh,
JC
nice
saves
recovery,
it. She
JC.
remembers. Oh, man. JC remembers the buttons? All right, let's go.
I'm kind of guessing here.
Here's the thing. Byleth has some heavy moves, right?
Yeah. It's a tie game.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
This is intense. Oh, she's trying to hit that down beat.
Oh my god, D almost falls into it.
Oh!
D charges up his limit break.
Oh, I was waiting for you to shoot an arrow at me.
I'm waiting too. I just don't remember how.
D gets his limit break charged up again while talking to JC and distracting her.
Oh.
A little close to there.
Oh.
Hits with the side B.
That's so powerful. You're so strong.
I know.
Oh! Just
That would have fucking.
in time, cuts it off. At one point,
Hail
he's
Marys.
going to slip up.
Full of grace.
Oh, he's going to blast.
Dude, a mid-game pause?
Nice dodge. Good air dodge, JC, right there.
Oh!
Not enough.
Oh! Shield! Get him, JC!
Wow.
Game's not over
She
yet.
didn't even know what was happening.
On a rookie game like this, any person can jump off the edge on accident. It's just at any moment D can lose his stock.
That's why she's not a pure rookie. She's gotten some good recoveries here.
That's right.
She's out of the window where D had to relearn the controls. And I think D now remembers how to play the game. But she's close.
D's trying to spam those up Bs.
She's in the 3 digits now. It's looking like it's the end, Nico.
That's it.
With a full forward smash. That'll do it.
I understand why you guys play.
I practiced for like an hour this morning, so it's not fair.
He's been practicing. I've been practicing all week.
This last year has been significant for me. We ushered in the new era of me having a child, a baby boy.
I don't think much of my opponent. I think he hasn't slept much. I think he's on baby time. He looks terrible.
So that's definitely going to affect his gameplay.
Now, I'll be honest, I haven't slept in about 2 weeks. I don't even know if this is real right now. But I'll tell you one thing. I've beaten Jan in the past before, and I'm going to do it again.
Jordan!
Yeah, wait.
Are you doing this for your boy or no?
This is for my boy.
There we go.
For my son!
He's gonna win.
Jan, if you beat Jordan Allen, you get his boy.
Get it.
It's for his boy.
It's for my boy.
Jalen's boys on the line.
Let's go!
Let's freaking go!
We have a crowd favorite, it sounds like.
Who's rooting for Jordan in the crowd
Everyone,
today?
woo! Sound effect, sound effect. Hold on,
Who's
hold on,
rooting
hold
for
on.
Jan in the crowd today? Silence.
Nobody.
That was silence.
Maybe they didn't hear you.
Sorry for asking that question. I didn't think it would be that quiet. I'm talking to the audience right
They're
now.
locked in.
Jordan's just using his little dash attack.
Jordan's got his annoying little silly slaps.
I hate it so
How many
much.
silly little
The
slaps
most
can I land?
annoying character in
Every
the
slap
game.
is for my
Cannot get
boy.
through those silly little slaps.
Oh.
It's an interesting.
Oh, he's trying to bust out the rest that early, huh?
Jordan is gonna. I feel like my prediction here is that Jordan's gonna get very greedy with the rest because he's going for glory.
Yeah. The question is, does Jan know these moves well enough to avoid it?
Exactly. He doesn't play Jalen much, so he doesn't really know his tricks. But he evened it out pretty quickly here, actually.
I'll go low.
Ooh.
Stuck.
Uh-oh. Oh my God! Jordan, your boy! Don't forget about your son! Really, Jordan is not taking any damage.
I can't.
And he can't make the recovery. Doesn't put a single
Noise, it's deafening.
slap. I can't see moves
So many
like that.
Silly slaps left and right. Jordan Allen's not playing around anymore. He's using the 3 moves he knows that work.
Watch this one. This is my favorite. Ready? Come down here.
I don't know if that extra speed will help him. And he gets a rough stone.
Yeah. Jordan's feeling good. He's on top of the world here. He's feeling confident.
Don't forget the triple face.
Yep, he's going to work him a little bit.
Oh! That's good. That's very good.
Wow. Ooh, Jan's bringing it back. Jan's bringing it back. What? Wow.
He hit the lucky torpedo.
I love you, son.
Wow. Turns out Jordan Allen's boy was watching, and he helped his papa out.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, stop.
Jordan, Jan's your son now too.
That's great.
Yeah.
You get to take Jan home with you. Honestly, I hadn't prepared since the last tournament. Today's actually the first day I played the game since the last tournament. So I'm hoping that like works in my favor, I guess.
I'm going in with Wario. I don't know how to kill with Wario, but one thing I do know is that these roads are open for my hog, and my hog is going to deliver pain to Clinton Jones.
I don't know much about Matt. I know he sucks, so hopefully that helps me out too. Fingers crossed.
Now, Snake is a super technical character. There's a lot of characters in this game where you have like secondary actions where you like leave a mine and then you blow up the mine. So you have to have a lot on your mind. Meanwhile, Matt is playing as maybe the
Just kick it off. Clint pretends to die at the very beginning.
So Matt has pulled out the hog right away. He's riding the hog.
You can't get him all day, baby. I'm hogging the road.
He's in a flow state right now, I would say.
I'm all right. He's feeling good.
It's actually a
Check this
pretty
out.
bad matchup for Snake because Wario is like just kind of nodding. It's
Yeah.
hard to hit him with a grenade or hit him with a missile.
These are my roads. CQC doesn't work when the opponent's on the motorcycle.
Can't really get in their mind when there's no mine to enter.
That's true. Ooh.
That's okay. That's okay.
Turns out the hog is a little extra explosive though, and that makes a difference when your opponent has a